Hey guys, it's your average middle-aged American back again with another reaction video. This one comes from Drew Pensky and it's 18 cultural differences between the USA and Europe. Obviously, there's cultural differences between us. There's even cultural differences between the countries in Europe. So let's see what he has to say. Before we start, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. If you want to hit that subscribe button, that'd be even better. I appreciate all the support and enough jibber jabber. Let's get on with it.
USA and Europe are similar in size, population, standard of living, and lifestyle. But as an American myself, after spending more than 1 year of my life in Europe and visiting every single country on the continent, there are some major cultural differences that need to be addressed. Bonjour! Disclaimer: I know it's impossible to group Europe into one category, so these are general realizations that may not exist in every European country.
Wow.
Here are 18 cultural differences that Europe has over the USA. Second bourgeois in Paris. 1. Pay to use public toilets. It's not free to pee or do your business in public. You have to pay usually €1 to use the bathroom, even if it's just to wash your hands. 2. Water is not free. When you order water in a restaurant, it usually comes in a tiny glass bottle and costs €2 to €5. They love sparkling water too, so make sure to tell them you want still water. Can I get a still water, please? Travel tip: carry around an empty water bottle and fill it up in sinks or public fountains. It's all purified. 3. Every city has...
Okay, I'm already confused. I don't have a problem paying for a toilet because I'm hoping that that money goes towards keeping that toilet updated and cleaned and, you know, $1.25, whatever it is to use the bathroom is no big deal in the grand scheme of things. It's better than going into a nasty bathroom. Not a problem there. Number 2, water's not free in a restaurant. Just regular tap water or the equivalent still water costs $3 to $6, and I'm assuming that's not including refills. Now, I went to a restaurant the other day and I had 3 Diet Cokes and 3 glasses of water during about a 2-hour lunch dinner, you know, between lunch and dinner, and I got charged for 1 Diet Coke. So it was like $3 or whatever, $3.50 probably. And that was 6 glasses of beverages, 3 Diet Cokes, 3 waters. So in Europe, that would be like, realistically, that would be like 18 pounds for beverages. For 3 Diet Cokes and 3 waters, I'd be paying 18 pounds minimum. So $22, $20, $21, $22 just for drinks, non-alcoholic. That's insanity to me. Just completely insane. And then it's free, supposedly free purified water coming out of a fountain or a sink. So that water is good enough to drink, but if you're sitting down in a restaurant and you drink a lot of water, you could be looking at 10, 15 pounds for water. That's crazy to me. I get it. Things are more expensive. Some things are cheaper. I get it. But we're talking about water. Let me know down below. I mean, is he exaggerating, or is it 3 or 4 pounds for water and then it's all the water you can drink, or is it a giant bottle or what? I mean, I'm not talking about Pellegrini or Evian or what. I'm just talking about water that won't get you sick. Bottled water, I guess. That seems very weird to me, especially if you're having these 2 and 3 hour, you know, meals. People have got to be drinking, you know, at least a few glasses of something. Even if it's non-alcoholic, you still have to be drinking a couple of sodas or a couple of waters, and at 3 or 4 pounds a piece, that gets a little excessive, doesn't it? Let me know. Let me know down below. This is the only way I'm ever going to learn.
has history. In America, we don't have much to talk about before the 17th century. In Europe, some castles are 500 years older than the US even became a country. 4. They drive less. Public transportation is everywhere and efficient in Europe, and most cities are pedestrian and bike friendly. There's really no need for a car, and gas...
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos, and I would say that this is accurate maybe most of the time, but there are definitely inconsistencies in the reporting on mass transit. Ireland, for example, I've been told you don't have a chance in the world of getting around in Ireland without a car. And then other people have said, well, you can kind of figure it out, you know, if you use some of the mass transit, but it's, you know, there's a lot of caveats. So, and vice versa. There's people that have come to America that are amazed at our mass transit, like in New York or Chicago. So, yeah, I get it as a generalization, but to say that nobody needs a car in Europe is a little over the top, I would think. And vice versa. There are 8 million people living in New York City, plus all the visitors. So there's no way in the world there could be 8 million or 10 million or 12 million cars, you know, in a city like that. So obviously they rely on the subway and taxis and Uber and Lyft and all these other forms of transportation, or walking or riding a bike. So it's, you know, you can generalize a little bit, but it all depends on what city you're in, I think.
Gas is too expensive anyways. 5. Sports are not a family affair. In the States, we pregame and drink beers and tailgate for sports games with our families and friends.
Roll Tide.
Europe, sports aren't such big events, except for soccer, which they love. 6. Smaller food portions. This is the size of a normal meal in Europe.
Okay, so he just showed the normal size of a meal in Europe, and it's about the size of a soup bowl. And then I don't know, is this a dessert? Is this ice cream? I don't know what this is. But my simple question as an average middle-aged American is, if you're eating a little bowl of whatever that was, how do your meals drag out to be 3 hours long? I always thought that Europe was known for having these, you know, 4 or 5 course meals that you just sat at, you know, you sat down and you talked with friends and family, and, you know, you'd eat and you'd talk, and then another course would come out and you'd talk, and another course, you know, this went on for, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. Well, it certainly isn't going to be a little soup bowl full of whatever that was. So let me know what's going on there, what he's talking about. Do you have like tiny little lunches so that you can have these big giant dinners, or is he just wrong on this? Let me know.
And this is a standard Coke. Also, ketchup.
You're just getting ripped off on the Coke. I'll just be flat out with you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably paying more for a Coke than we pay in America that's twice the size. I mean, I'm assuming that's like a 8-ounce Coke, where ours are 12 ounces or 16 ounces. And there are restaurants that do carry ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise in these little bottles. And they don't charge you for them. How do you charge for ketchup? I mean, in America, you can get ketchup. I don't even know how to convert it. But you can get a bottle of ketchup that's like 20 or 30 of those bottles for like $4. So how in the world could you charge for ketchup? Unless it's 50 cents or something. So you charge for water and you charge for ketchup.
Ketchup is not free and comes in glass bottles. Seriously? 7. Cigarettes are fashionable. They aren't so looked down upon among Europeans either. I guess they don't have the DARE program in Europe. And
to each their own. If you want to smoke, smoke. I mean, it's terrible for you, obviously. I mean, just rots your insides, but more power to you. But there's nothing cool about it. Sorry. Sorry. The loudmouth fat American said that smoking's not cool. I always thought that people that smoked, they smoked because of stress. And I thought there was a lot less stress in Europe. This is interesting to me because for a continent that kind of describes themselves as healthy and green and all this, you know, a lot of people complain about America's food, about our produce, about, you know, our obesity problem and all of this. You know, your Cokes are in smaller cans, I would expect, you know, so that people don't have as much sugar. And, you know, you have all this stuff where your food is supposed to be so much more, you know, so much healthier. But then you smoke and it just, I mean, it's literally like 55 poisons you suck into your body through your lungs. I thought the whole idea, I thought smokers, I've never smoked, so I don't know. So excuse, you know, forgive me. But I thought the idea, the people that I knew that smoked, which almost none of them do anymore, but the ones that I knew that smoked, they all smoked for stress. It calmed them down. And I thought Europe had this whole thing about being more relaxed and not working as hard and eating healthier and worrying about the environment and all of this. But then you're sucking all this poison into your body. So let me know what's going on there. Is smoking just a normal thing in Europe still? Because in America, honestly, it's usually looked down upon socially. I'm trying to word that the nicest way possible. Generally, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, generally smoking is kind of looked down upon on the social scale in America. So I'm curious if it's just as normal as it's always been in Europe, or is it going down but still prevalent? Or let me know down below. No judging, to each their own. I eat too much, but I don't smoke and I don't drink and I don't do drugs. So, you know, everybody's got their own thing.
in other words, smoking equals cool. 8. They dress nicer. They don't just throw on basketball shorts, a university t-shirt, and sandals. Sup, dude? They always dress to impress. And about those haircuts. 9. They can speak multiple languages. It's not uncommon to me.
When he says they always dress to impress, I'm confused here. I mean, he's a 20-something-year-old kid who's either in college or just got out of college, obviously University of Wisconsin, and you know, he's dressing like anybody normally would dress when they're not working. But Europeans don't dress like that when they're going to the pub to go watch a soccer game or something. If you're in the World Cup, or you're not going to wear your favorite jersey, your favorite team, you know, in some blue jeans or some workout pants or something like that, and some tennis shoes or sneakers. That's not normal for game day or for casual not working day. If you're just going to go hang out in the park and throw a frisbee around or something, that's you're gonna be all dressed up. Let me know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Just sounds a little odd. And I get it if it's colder there, but I got a hard time believing that, you know, there's not millions of soccer jerseys out there being worn throughout Europe.
Meet Europeans who speak 4, 5, or 6 languages fluently.
This beer is very good. Das Bier ist ausgezeichnet. To pivo je výborný. Je to pivo очень вкусné. To pivo je veľmi dobré.
10. They recycle more.
I got a hard time believing that the average person speaks 4 or 5 or 6 languages. I understand Europe. The countries are much smaller, you know, than the United States, but and the United States has, you know, people in it obviously that will speak more than one language. I think 40% of the country speaks Spanish, but or no, not 40%. I think it's 40 million people speak Spanish. Anyway, a lot of people speak Spanish or German or other languages. But to speak 4 or 5 or 6 languages, I don't think that's common for the average person. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'd be pretty impressed if you know, if I stopped 10 people on the street and 5 of them spoke 6 languages, I'd be pretty impressed. Not gonna lie.
Metal cans, plastic, paper, bottles. Europeans recycle more and take better care of their environment. In Germany, the government incentivizes you with 25 cents for returning an empty bottle.
And they penalize you for making you put a deposit down on that same bottle.
Empty water bottles can make you rich in Germany. Many Americans seem to throw trash on the street without thinking about the consequences. 11. Coins actually matter. Don't lose your euros. This handful of coins is 20 euros or 24 US dollars. If these were quarters, it'd be about $3. See the difference? 12. Toilets have 2 buttons.
America had Susan B. Anthony's, which were dollar coins, you know, 20 or 30 years ago. We used to have silver dollars and half dollars. They're just not, we just don't use them anymore. Dollar's not worth much anymore. I mean, I could see it because you have to pay to go to the bathroom, and you have to pay for water, and you have to do all these things, so they need coins. Most people in America don't even use coins for anything.
This makes a lot more sense, right? Big ones for poop, small ones for pee, to save a lot of water every flush. Also, bathroom sinks are tiny.
That's ridiculous.
13. Electric car.
There are toilets in America that have 2 buttons. And there's also a lot of toilets that are low flow, you know, restrictive or whatever. So you have to push the button 10 times, which makes you use more water than if you just had a normal toilet. And as far as electric cars go, you know, the jury's out whether they really are better for the environment or not because of all the stuff that goes inside of a battery. Have you ever seen the mining pits that are involved in making lithium ion batteries and lithium phosphate batteries? I mean, there's some pretty hazardous, pretty nasty stuff inside those batteries. So yeah, it seems like it's a better idea now, and hopefully it is. You know, there's no emissions per se, but we don't know long term. We just don't know yet.
Cars. It's more and more common to drive small electric cars in Europe. Once again, better for the environment. And you can pull into these parking spaces and you charge it. It's so simple. 14. Fewer trash cans. I never have this problem back home, but in Europe, it always seems like there's a trash can every 2 miles. But believe it or not, the streets are clean. 15. Street signs are tricky. Can't find the street sign? Look on the building. It's usually there. 16. Dinner is an all-night activity. Expect to spend 3 or more hours schmoozing and eating with your friends at the dinner table. In the US, if we wait more than 5 minutes to get our
Somebody explain to me how a meal can be the size of a soup bowl that would take me 8 minutes to eat, and I'm supposed to sit there for 3.5 hours. Is that a lunch versus dinner thing, or is he just completely wrong about that being an entire meal? I mean, I thought the whole idea, you're in France, you get this 5-course, you know, event that you're sitting there with all your friends and you're laughing and blah, 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 and a dish comes and then you're talking some more and you're laughing and then another dish comes, and, you know, I thought that was the whole idea. So which is it? Is it a tiny little soup bowl with whatever that was? Or is it this grand multi-course experience? And I get it, some of it's going to vary depending on the restaurant, but there's a pretty wide, you know, difference there.
our check, we talk to the manager. Don't be in a hurry if you're going to dinner with Europeans. 17, they love the outdoors. You'll notice this by seeing tons of parks and outdoor cafes all over Europe. They love their leisure time and they don't use their phones as much as we do. 18, longer vacation. Many European countries like France have 6 or more weeks of vacation, or holiday as I call it. In the US, 2 weeks would be generous. So
Okay, well, 2 weeks isn't generous. It's pretty standard for any professional job. When you've been at a job more than a few years, it usually goes up to 3 or 4 weeks, depending on, what position you're in and that kind of thing. And as far as the outdoors, America loves outdoors. I don't know what that's all about. I'm wondering if there aren't so many outdoor cafes and such because of the lack of real estate. The buildings are small. Could it be just that it seats more people? I'm not saying you don't love the outdoors, but I can't imagine that you could say that Europeans love the outdoors more than Americans love the outdoors. Let me know your thoughts. Try not to be too negative and too closed-minded. I'm trying to open up here and figure out what's going on. But yeah, let me know down below. And if you got a video that I should watch, obviously I'm getting comments. Some of them are, positive, some of them are negative. Hey, teach me something. If you got a video I should watch, put it down in the description so I can check it out. I'm not going to try to argue with everything I see. I'm just trying to figure it all out. Listen, I'm just an average middle-aged American trying to figure it all out. I'm going to go see a whole bunch of countries with my wife, and I just want to know what I'm going to be dealing with, okay? I appreciate you. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Hey guys, just a couple other videos you can check out if you don't mind. I do appreciate you. Take care. See you soon.